Hey guys, Rodder or Taylor here, and today I'm back with another Division video. And this is something I want to start bringing to my channel a lot more. I know I've only done a couple in the past, and I've recently had a lot of requests from people over on Twitter to start doing build videos on my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to bring you the first one, and this is a build I've been using for ever since about 1.5, 1.6, and it still is currently my favourite build. So guys, before we do get into this, I do just want to say, go easy on me, leave any feedback, any suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to put them into action in the next build video. So anyway, less of that, let's get straight into it. So today's build, we're going to be looking at what I call the PredFRESH build. Now the reason I call it the PredFRESH is we're using 4-piece Predator's Mark, 1 refreshed mask, as well as a specialized bag. So just to recap for anyone that's picking up the Division, the Predator's Mark is a gear set, and this is what the gear set bonuses do. If you have 2 pieces of Predator's Mark, you'll receive a 10% reload speed buff. If you have 3 pieces, you'll get 8% assault rifle damage, as well as 8% SMG damage. And then the set bonus, or for having 4 pieces active, you'll receive the Talent Predator's Mark. Hit 10 shots without switching target to make the target bleed for 50% of the damage already done by those bullets. So that's the Predator's Mark gear set. This is the mask I'm using. Like I said, it's a refreshed mask, so all healing is improved by 30% when in the last health segment. Now, I never realized how useful and how powerful this mask actually was until I put all of these pieces together and came across this build. It's something that I find hard to drop from any of my builds now, and it's something I highly recommend you guys give a try if you haven't already. The specialized bag is, of course, adds 200% of firearms and stamina to skill power. So I'm going to quickly go over what is rolled on each piece of gear, as well as the gear mods I've got selected for them. The vest has health and all resistance along with increased kill experience. In an ideal world, all resistance would be skill haste, and this would be increased ammo capacity. I rolled skill power on here because the mask already had firearms. I wanted to make my skills a little bit beefier, so I made sure electronics were on the knee pads as well as health as the major attribute. The bag is a pretty decent rolled specialized bag. We rolled it for electronics as well as health and ammo capacity. Now the gloves are a bit of a confusing one. Here I rolled them with firearms, and I didn't actually realize these were pre 1.5 gloves, so unfortunately I can't roll skill haste on them. But until I do, I've got crit hit chance, crit hit damage, as well as assault rifle damage here. What I wanted to do was roll off crit chance and get skill haste like I just said. Skill haste on gloves was introduced in 1.5, and therefore these gloves had been sitting in my stash way before that. The holster again is a pretty much perfect holster. It's got high firearms, stamina, as well as electronics, and the major attribute is skill haste. The mods on the chest are a firearms skill haste, stamina skill haste. The mask is a firearms skill haste. The knees are firearms and health, as well as a first aid self heal. The bag is firearms health, first aid self heal, and first aid self heal. And then finally, the holster has a first aid self heal mod on it. Now, unfortunately, because I don't have all of the firearms and skill haste mods that I need, I can only get to 16% skill haste on this build. I'm currently working to try and improve this, but this is the only thing that's holding me back on this build, is getting this skill haste as close to the 30 mark as possible. So you might be wondering, well, all it is, Taylor, is a Predator's Mark with a refreshed mask. Well, I just want you to think again, because this build I've done something a little bit different than all my other builds. For the assault rifle here, and that's the main weapon I focus on in this build, I've really spec'd into crit hit damage and tried my best to get it as high as I can without changing the gear too much. So as you can see on the weapons tab under the character screen, if we go down to the crit hit damage screen, you can see that it's at a 97% increase. As well as that, the headshot damages also has an 80% increase. Now these are some pretty crazy numbers, especially for an assault rifle, and that's why I feel this build is worth showing off today. Now let's have a look at the weapons a little bit more in depth and see how this build performs. So we've got this LVOA C, or LVOAC, I know everyone says it differently. This rolled with competent, adapt, and responsive. And if we go through the mods here, you can see that most of these I've rolled for crit damage. So we have a magazine with crit damage on, The pro red dot sight has crit damage, the suppressor has crit hit damage as well as headshot damage, and the underbarrel also has crit damage. And this is the main reason on how I'm actually able to get up to 97% crit hit damage on this build. So at the start of this video, you might have just thought all he's done is thrown a PredMark build together and thrown a refreshed mask on it, but it's actually a lot more than you think. The MP7 has competent, deadly and responsive. I didn't feel the need to put adept on an SMG because it already has that built-in 18% crit hit chance, so I rolled deadly on it to get a better crit hit damage. And the reason I went for an SMG and an assault rifle combination is, again, looking back at the gear set, the 3-piece bonus obviously has that 8% assault rifle damage as well as the 8% SMG damage. So the way I'm going to split this up is with no mods, is first with body shot crit damage and then headshot crit damage. Then we'll do body shot crit damage, headshot crit damage with the booster, and then so on and so forth. In this first clip, this is just body shots and headshots with no booster or conceal pulse. As you can see, the body shot crit damage is about 47k and the headshot crit damage is about 66k. Now as soon as I hit that booster, the body shot crit damage goes up to about 58k and the headshot crit damage goes up to about 81k. Now this is where it starts getting interesting. As soon as I hit the booster as well as the conceal pulse, the body crit damage goes up to 62k. And the headshot crit damage is 86k. And last but not least, in the absolute perfect scenario, and you manage to activate all three, your booster, your conceal pulse, as well as the tactical link, this is what you're going to get. Your body crits are a whopping 77k. And your headshots are a staggering 106k. I know, obviously take that with a pinch of salt because it's going to be highly unlikely that you're able to hit all three and then get a headshot as well. But it does make for a very powerful PredMark build. Whilst I was in the firing range, I thought I'd show you how the refreshed mask works, with a medkit as well as a booster. So as you can see in the first clip, I use a medkit when I'm in the last segment of health. And then the second clip here is when I use booster shot in the last segment of health. Guys, I'm not expecting you to watch the rest of this video. This is just some last stand gameplay I thought I'd throw in the end so you know what it's like. So you know what this build acts like in PvP. Obviously, I am not the best PvP player and I don't claim to be whatsoever. PvE is my style, but I thought I'd throw this in anyway at the end for you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, then let me know by either leaving a comment or by clicking that like button. And if you're new around here and want to stay up to date with all things Division, then make sure to subscribe. But as always, I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.